How trade led to taxes. Through the early 18th century, the conflict between the company and the Nawab of Bengal got intensified. As we learned in the previous video session, that the company started to use the farmans and take additional advantage of it. Not only company, but its officials also started to take advantage and refuse to pay taxes. After the death of Aurangzeb, the Bengal Nawabs asserted their power and autonomy as other regional powers were doing at that time. Murshid Quli Khan was followed by Alivardi Khan and then Siraj-ud-Dawla as the Nawab of Bengal. So Murshid Quli Khan was succeeded by his son Alivardi Khan and his son Siraj-ud-Dawla as the Nawab of Bengal. Each one of them was a strong ruler. They refused to grant the company concessions, demanded larger tributes for the company's right to trade. So they denied it, and any right to mint coins stopped it from extending its fortification. So, being a strong ruler, Alivardi Khan and Siraj-ud-Dawla refused to grant the company more concessions, which they demanded, like right to mint coins, and stop from extending its fortification. Accusing the company of deceit, they claimed that the company was depriving the Bengal government of huge amounts of revenue and undermining the authority of the Nawab. Later, the company started to undermine the authority of Nawab. It was refusing to pay taxes, writing disrespectful letters, and also trying to humiliate the Nawab and his officials. Like this, the company was trying to instigate anger in Siraj-ud-Dawla. The company, on its part, declared that the unjust demands of the local officials were ruining the trade of the company, and trade can flourish only if the duties were removed. Here, they also made it public that the local leaders are asking for more taxes and the duty, so that has to be reduced. Then only the English companies can be able to do trade properly. It also convinced that to expand trade, it had to enlarge its settlement, buying up villages and rebuild its forts. They also decided that the East India Company, to expand its trade, it has to enlarge its settlement region and buy up villages and rebuild its forts. This led to conflict and confrontation between the company and the Siraj-ud-Dawla, the Nawab of Bengal, finally culminated in the famous Battle of Plassey. Let us now see what happened in the Battle of Plassey. Who fought the Battle of Plassey? The Battle of Plassey was the first battle which was fought by the Britishers with the local Nawabs of India. The company was worried about the power and keen on a puppet ruler who would willingly give trade concessions and other privileges. So the Britishers want a ruler locally who would be willingly give trade concessions more to the East India Company and other privileges. So it tried, though without success, to help one of the Siraj-ud-Dawla's rivals. So they tried to help Siraj-ud-Dawla's rivals to fight against the Nawab. This triggered anger to Siraj-ud-Dawla. So, the infuriated Siraj-ud-Dawla asked the company officials to stop meddling into the political affairs of his dominion, stop fortification, and pay the revenues or the tax. So Siraj-ud-Dawla gave a serious warning to the company officials, saying that don't interfere in the political affairs of his dominion or his region. Stop fortification and pay revenue, which have to be paid to the Nawab. After the negotiations failed, the Nawab marched with 30,000 soldiers to the English factory at Qasim Bazar, captured the company officials, locked the warehouse, disarmed all Englishmen, and blockaded English ships. So when the negotiations failed between the company and the Nawab, the angry Nawab marched with 30,000 soldiers to the factory of the English at Qasim Bazar, captured the company officials, locked the warehouse, disarmed all the Englishmen, and blocked all the English ships arriving to Bengal region. Knowing about this, Robert Clive was asked to take control of the company's port, and he was sent from Chennai to Calcutta region. On hearing of the fall of the Calcutta, company officials in Madras sent Robert Clive and reinforced by naval fleets. So what happened was, after Nawab went and attacked the company's factory at Qasim Bazar, on hearing to this news, the company officials sent Robert Clive, who is on the right side of the screen, to take charge to reinforce English rule in Calcutta region through naval fleet. So let's see what happened then. Finally, in 1757, Robert Clive led the company's army against Siraj-ud-Dawla at Plassey. That's why it is known as the Battle of Plassey. One of the main reasons for the defeat of Nawab was that the lead forces on the Nawab side are very less, because Robert Clive tried to convince Mir Jafar on the Nawab's army part not to take part in the battle. So Clive had managed to secure his support by promising to make him Nawab after crushing Siraj-ud-Dawla. So Robert Clive cleverly divided the Nawab's army into two groups, and one group, which is led by Mir Jafar, was taken on his side, and he promised that he will make him as the Nawab of Bengal if he supports in defeating Siraj-ud-Dawla. So the Battle of Plassey became famous because it was the first major victory that the company won in India. After the defeat at Plassey, Siraj-ud-Dawla was assassinated and Mir Jafar was made as the Nawab, as promised by Robert Clive. The company was still unwilling to take overall the responsibility of administration. Why? Let us look at it. So what happened after the Battle of Plassey? The company was still unwilling to take over the responsibility of administration. So its prime objective was expansion of trade, not expansion of territory. Then, why did the company want to occupy the region? The company wanted to occupy the regions, though it was not their primary responsibility, because the company could be done without the consent through the help of the local rulers who were willing to grant privileges, then territories need not be taken over directly. But the company could not get the support from the local rulers who were willing to grant privileges, and territories were not necessary. Soon the company discovered that it was rather difficult. Even the puppet Nawabs were not always as helpful as the company wanted them to be. After all, they had to maintain a basic appearance of dignity and sovereignty if they wanted respect from their subjects. So the company officials already understood, even if you put a puppet Nawab in the place of a powerful Nawab, but the word Nawab or the ruler will make him to act in a certain manner of dignity and sovereignty to command support and respect from their subjects. So he would not give as much concessions as the company is requesting for them to give, because it will be against the sovereignty of the kingdom. So the Battle of Plassey is considered as very important because it is one of the first battles which was fought by the British in India, and the first victorious battle, and it occupied the entire Calcutta region after this, and it proved to be a very powerful army when compared to the Indian armies of that time. So it gave confidence and also control for the Bengal region for the British. That's why it's considered as one of the important battles in the Indian history. That's all we have in this session. Stay tuned. We'll catch you in the next session.